All right, let's go live again. Let's do this. Let's see if this will work this time. Nice. Thanks, Caleb. Yeah, the computer did definitely crash. So much so that I'm gonna have to open that again. Yeah, that's new. That's a reason to it's a reason to have a more powerful computer. That's what that is. And this is one of the things I talk about often when it comes to choosing the right computer. When I got this computer, it was just to do live streams, to do talking head live streams. And let's let Final Cut figure out what it wants to do. The system's still booting up. I guess I went too fast. But yeah, I've been holding off on getting the one I'm running right now is a M1 Mac Mini with 16 gigabytes of RAM. I have a Mac Pro that is much older than I would like to admit, but it still is a powerhouse when it comes to After Effects and Cinema 4D. And I have a render farm. It works beautifully, and we're always neck deep in many projects. So I don't want to change a computer, and I didn't want to buy anything up until this past November. But I don't want to get a laptop as my main machine. So I got the M1 Mac Mini to do live streams, to be able to do a whole bunch of just different things overall. There you go. That's beauty. Beauty. Share screen and kablowie. Yes? Hey! A restart. So, so yeah, I'm actually working on a 1 year review of the M1 Mac Mini. So this is definitely going to go into it. I know that there are moments. Do I have background render on? Could that be one of the things that? No, I don't. Anyways, so yeah, I've been holding out buying a new computer since 2013, 2014. And when I tried to live stream on the other computer, it was just terrible. Like, it was the worst experience. Like, everything just kind of went nuts. It was not designed for that, because I wanted to do something like this. And I've done screen sharing where I actually shared the application and I shared what I was working on, and it was a good experience. But now that I'm working with Sony footage, 10-bit, maybe I should go to the proxies. No, it's on proxies. I don't know what happened. But yeah. So, Matthew, let me ask you this. Are you going to buy a Mac Pro when they eventually push one out? Because that's what I'm waiting for. I may I may buy a new Mac Mini if they release an M1 Max Mac Mini, or if they release a iMac M1 Max. I don't know. But yeah, like, because I want something that will work with the software. I don't. I want to keep the amount of hardware down. So you're saying that? Wait, can I? Can I? Why doesn't it go to two lines? No, that's not good. So you're saying that's why you got the ATEM, so you could still stream using the 2013 15-inch MacBook Pro, since it's the only spare one. Yeah, that is Yeah, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to, now that I've been doing YouTube so much more, and now that over the last year I've been doing live streams uh, almost consistently. I really hope that the M1 Mac Mini gets the Pro and the Max chips, because I'll get that to kind of do the bridge gap as my main machine to get the 32 core GPU, and then be able to do the work that I'm doing. Because I've done a few tests with After Effects and Cinema 4D and Redshift and what I'm working on. And even the M1 here works quite well. So let me just open up Cinema 4D. So yeah, Cinema 4D does it actually works quite well, even on this machine, with its mini processors and its little cute GPU. But I'm actually impressed that it's able to do it. It's gotten a lot better since when they released it, and that's why I'm going to do a follow-up video when the time comes. Because go to channel, sure, yeah, there we go. That's why I want to do that's why I want to do a follow-up video, a 1-year video, because all the apps that I was complaining about that weren't up to par have come and kind of flourished really nicely. Final Cut for sure was kind of from day one, but After Effects, now that they have M1 compatible, Premiere, DaVinci Resolve, Cinema 4D is now working on Metal. It won't work on any Intel Macs. So even the base model Mac M1 is better than any Intel computer, I think pre 2019. So yeah, it's definitely, I've liked the computer since the beginning. It just wasn't up to snuff. And like we just saw an example of, I'm using 2 programs, and I think it just got screwy and I had to do a restart. So those are the kinds of things that, when that happens too often, that can slow down the flow of being in a creative flow. So yeah, let's go back to Final Cut, shall we? So yeah, ask questions. So let me ask you guys, because I know that you guys are rocking your M1 Max as well. I think, Matthew, you have a M1 Pro. When you first bought it, you had this idea that you're just going to use it as your day-to-day accounting and on the road editing machine. But then, while you're doing your review for it, you actually found that it was a faster machine than your Mac Pro. And I believe it. I really do. And I just don't want to buy another laptop and spend so much, because then it'll be hard for me to then, at the end of the year when the Mac Pros come out, to then go spend 10K, 15K, or whatever it is, after already buying this laptop that I know I won't use as much. And that's the part I'm like, I'm just, hold on for a little bit. But I think I'll see what happens next week if Apple does do an M1 Max. I still may get a laptop, because if it is as powerful as I think it can be, I'm hoping that they do the M1 Max Duo option, because then I may not need to go with a Mac Pro down the line. I'd rather spend $4,000 than $10,000 if it'll do the same thing. Because I do have access to a render farm if I ever need one for heavier projects. So if there is something that I can kind of put the money in and save on the bigger stuff, because I don't need the most powerful thing. I wouldn't get the $50,000 version. I just want something that would be able to do it. But if it's not configurable, if you can't do anything, then what will be the difference at that power level? Those are my thoughts. What do you guys think? What do you think? So yeah. So, Caleb, what do you mean? That's why I wouldn't have expected that if you look back 2 years ago. I'm missing. What was I saying? I was saying stuff. So yes, you've tried editing on the Mac Pro, and if it wasn't for the waveform issue, you'd still be editing on it. So the Mac Pro is not, but it's working on the laptop. I'm just going to use the M1 Pro to do final exports, but it's so fast and snappy that I just can't resist editing on it. Yeah. My audio is cutting. Oh, yeah, hold on. That means I need to open up my waveform. There. That should be a little bit better. Let me know if this, does that work a little bit better? Turn that in. Final Cut. Beauty. That should sound better. The waveform redrawing issue. Now, check out what's Command Post, because they have the scrolling timeline. I think they do the audio waveform rewriting. It may be part of that. I never had it work consistently. Like, it crashes on me, and so it just a lot of the features just disappear. And it seems quieter. That's why I got the M1, because I tried streaming on my laptop and it was like having a jet engine in the same room. So yeah, I love that I can push this little tiny machine that's just sitting there in the corner, like right underneath the microphone, and my audio seems a lot quieter. Yeah, there. That fixed that. All right. So I'm going to off and turn this back on. That should sound better. All right, let's start editing some of this stuff, because that's what I want to do. That was the whole point of this. It is frustrating because I do want to chat with you guys. But let's chat about some Final Cut stuff. Let's chat about... and this is what I wanted to do, the live stream, like the bigger live stream this week, about, where I want to talk about those things, like those features that that people don't really know, that's just going to save them so much time. And if they just weren't afraid to do that change, to take those 2 days to just make the switch over, that they're going to save so much time in their life working with these apps that just help them along. Okay, let's see if I can pull in that file. Yes, I can.
It is time to stop fearing Final Cut Pro and embrace its
Don't die on me. Yep. It may be loud. I apologize.
and embrace its
Phenomenal cosmic power!
phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm doing that. That's actually one of the biggest things about Final Cut that drives me nuts. And I actually talk about this in this video. I talk about how audio, there's workarounds. You can get it to do what you want, but like, for instance, okay, so you know how Final Cut has roles, right? So we have dialogue. I'm gonna make this effects, and if we had so you can actually select. Let's detach this, or we can bring in some music. How about we bring in some music, just so I can show you guys. Oh, so yeah, show audio lanes. So I wish there was a way where I can go into the audio effects, see, grab the channel EQ, drag it over, and just drop it onto the audio lane. I want to do that. I want to drop it on that and then be able to edit the same way that you edit over here in the audio pane. If I could do that, then I don't have to then make a compound clip to have to just affect all these clips. Why can't it just treat it as though it's a compound clip, but it's right here? And if I can drop it in, and then I can isolate it. And if you clicked it open, then instead of having a dinky, just a reference monitor for the audio, if a full-on audio mixer came up where you can actually change the mixers, and then I can't remember which software has this, but like as you're watching it, you can just move the slider up and down. So if you wanted to go a bit quiet, you can just move it up. So in real time, it's tracking your movements, and it just follows that. And you can put an offset of like 5 frames, where if you move it up, it'll do it 5 frames sooner in the timeline, because you're reacting to that. And then being able to have all the roles. So if you have only 4 roles, only 4 audio channels come up. But if you have 12 roles for your audio, 12 audio channels comes up. Like, that's what I would love to see. And then you can click on the effects, and it treats it all as one big bus. Anyways, that's a wish list for using roles in a way that I think would make it really good. So, outputting audio there. I have a video on my channel where I actually talk about my whole audio workflow. I have 2 videos: how I mix audio for YouTube and what the sweet spot is. And there's a scientific and technical way to do it, but the general gist is you want to have
cosmic power.
You want to have your dialogue, your main voice, at around -6, between -3 and -6, as that sweet spot for vocals. And I think I even have a whole free preset pack that you can download that will get you roughly there for indoor dialogue. And it's a whole effects stack that you can use. But yeah, I have 2 videos. Let me know if you want me to find it. I can find it for you and drop it in the chat. But yeah, audio in Final Cut was always one of the hardest things for me to figure out. So I spent some time. Trying to get it. Yeah, give me a second. I'll get you that. Give me a second. I'll find you that video, and I will drop it here because I'm already open here. Yeah, audio was one of those things. Audio and color correction specifically. When I finally set up, because I'm so used to working with artists that I'll do the edit, I'll do the graphics, I'll do the motion, and then just pass it off to a colorist or the audio engineer, where they would build the sound design, they would mix it, then they would send back the final color graded stuff, and they would send me back the audio mixed. And it just sounded great. So I started picking their brain. How do you do this? What do you look for? What do you look for when you're listening? That's what I didn't understand. Like, what is that? So yeah, let me bring this up. So here's that video. Oh, wait, did I copy that? Yeah. So here's that video. Let me just get this. So yeah, it's this video. It's called how to mix in Final Cut Pro, and it just goes through how I mix audio with background music and the sound effects, and then there's a free, simple indoor voice over EQ that I actually build in that video, so you can just download it and try it if you follow the way I kind of do it. And I actually talk about how to do how to cut the frequencies out of your music so your voice punches through a little bit better. But yeah. Okay, I have a video idea that I've been sitting on for like a year at this point, and I audio edit all my videos with these headphones, which are the Beyer Dynamic. Here, let me bring that up. They are the Beyer Dynamic DT77 Pro, the 32 ohms. If you're using specifically, if you're using a laptop, these are really good, and they have a neutral balance, so they're not designed to sweeten music, so they don't have a really deep low end like a lot of the consumer headphones do. And they're not tinny like earbuds. They have that nice balance, so you can actually push the bass. If you're hearing too much bass in these monitors, then it's gonna sound terrible in pretty much on anything else. But I found that using these, because it's a neutral bass, that anyone that's watching on their laptop, if they're watching on their phone, if they're watching on their TV, it's generally a good enough sound. And the video that I have is why you should use these kind of earphones versus the even more expensive consumer earphones, because you're not going to get an accurate sound that's going to work on every device. It's the same with color grading. If you're color grading on a professional monitor and it's a neutral monitor, so it's not oversaturated, and then the video will almost look good on any monitor that's out there, because you can't control consumer products. Same with audio. If you mix it on monitors that are neutral in their response, it's going to sound good on almost every device that is out there. And you can't control the devices that are out there that people will be listening to, because most people will be listening to on earbuds, or they'll be listening to their phone, kind of like this and half muted, or they're going to be listening on their TV or the laptop. So you need to find something that is that baseline, that middle. So anyone that has crappier sounding quality, it's still going to sound good because you're able to bring it up. But anything that like professional, really gear that is designed to sweeten everything, you'll be able to keep it within that space. So you're never pushing it too far. Because I found when I first started mixing my own stuff, I would edit on high-end Sony earphones. They sounded great, but as soon as I pushed it out, I kept lowering the bass because it sounded too bassy in my earphones. But then when I played it back on my phone or on my laptop, it just sounded like dead. Like it was just flat. Like there was nothing. Or then I would try to compensate. So yeah, like it's the same thing with video monitors and trying to get the right thing. Like if you have the baseline, then you can always do some really, really cool stuff. Nice. So yeah, the Studio Beats, they're great for listening to finished content, but if you're working with content that you're trying to mix, I think you'll be better if you're able to find a way to mix it with. It's not flat. I don't want to say that there's flat. Anything's flat, because there's no such thing as a truly flat signal. That just wouldn't sound right. All right, let's do a little bit.
It is time to stop fearing Final Cut Pro and embrace its
Phenomenal cosmic powers!
phenomenal cosmic power. I'm Raphael, and welcome to the channel. It's time to stop.
All right. Do I need that? Probably not.
Cosmic powers!
I'm Raphael, and welcome to the channel. It's time.
Hopefully I don't get demonetized for that in the video. If I do, then I will cut it out. So maybe I should leave the other one just if I do have to cut it out later.
I'm Raphael, and welcome to the channel. It's time to stop fearing Final Cut Pro and embrace its. I'm Raphael, and welcome to the channel. It's time to stop fearing Final Cut.
You are very welcome. This is the whole thing with why I started this YouTube channel, because I've gotten so much information from so many other people that are doing these kind of things, and it's just passing along that good info. So one day you're going to be telling someone else, like, you need to be doing this because it's so much better. And don't take my word for it. Actually try it out, and you'll see that you'll be able to refine a little bit better. And it all comes down to what we tell our kids. What are the magic words? You have please, thank you, and practice. Practice is the magic word. So let me just bring in my opening title, because that's what I want to do at this point. Final Cut Pro. I'm going to open up January. You may be right. I may not keep that in, but I may. It may be short enough where it doesn't get flagged. Overall, right now, it is 3 seconds. So we'll see. Maybe I'll shift the audio so it doesn't... Well, how about I do that? See? See, that's helpful, because now I can just... I'll take it, and I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to change the audio just a little bit. Oops, wrong way. Boop. Scale X minus 100. Boom, that's 1. So then I'll do
Phenomenal cosmic powers!
Phenomenal cosmic.
That's right. Final Cut has phenomenal cosmic power. Auto generate, is that what I want to do? Sure, let's grab it from there. So the other thing I would love for Final Cut to have is the ability to oh no, I don't have that there. Use the flipped effect to do that a little quicker. Yeah, probably. That's another thing that frustrates me a little bit with Final Cut, that because I'm so used to After Effects, I have all the effects kind of built into my head, but they had to change the naming of it. So instead of stroke, you have to look for a border. And it's just, come on, like you can still, it's a stroke. I want to create a stroke around the outline, but no, you have to create a border around. It's like, meh. So it's stuff like that that kind of drives me a little bit batty, where I look for it in one application and they have a completely different naming convention, because I don't know why, but they do. So those are the kinds of things that just kind of, why can't some things just be the way they should be? Am I the only one that feels that? Okay, let's see. So I'm going to undo this because I am going to learn new stuff. Let's see. So I'm going to go and just search for Flipped. Bam! See?
Phenomenal cosmic.
So much simpler. But I guess when it comes down to standardization, it's who's gonna win. And this isn't. So again, new computer, all that stuff. Where's my avatar? Is that not? Okay, we'll work on that later. So then that's my intro. That goes into there, and then
It's time to stop fearing Final Cut Pro and embrace its powerful. It's time to. It's.
see. I've learned so much of the other programs like DaVinci, Avid, Premiere. I'm very comfortable in all those applications, but I always come back to Final Cut because of how quickly I can just literally swap things around, and it's because when I build the first pass, there's moments where I'm like, okay, I would like this whole section to just be over here, and then I can just drop that kind of stuff. And I love that I'm able to do that. And now I'm just going to turn off the audio lanes because I don't need to see those. I'll close that. So the average time that I spend on a video when I'm not going live is, I would probably say I spend about an hour doing research and writing on average, and then about an hour to record, and then 3 hours, sometimes longer, to do the full edit, add the graphics, massage anything, choose the music, add any of the B-roll, doing all that kind of stuff. I can get it done in about 5 hours is probably the fastest I would say I can turn around a video from beginning to end. There have been times where I've had an idea, turn on the camera, just recorded, said the things I wanted to do, put it into the timeline, was able to chop it up and spit out an 8-minute video in about 2 hours. I don't like doing that, but there's an oddity that happens with YouTube. For some reason, that's the video that is the one that gets 30,000 views. But I'm trying to create evergreen content. That's really my goal. Is that I'm not looking for that initial dopamine hit of several thousand views, because all of the videos that I do that are tutorials that are just meant for search mainly, they keep getting views. Like, I haven't made a video in about 5 weeks, and the amount of views that I've been getting daily or over the month, and the amount of subscribers that have been growing, has been identical to the months that I put out 5 videos. So, and that really is attributed to evergreen videos that are going to be relevant not only this year, but next year and like 2 years from now. And I try to keep the very specific kinds of tutorials not too specific. I try to keep them loose enough, like more conceptual, that even if the tool has changed slightly, the core concept has not. It's actually something that it is still relevant. It's the whole thing. Like, as long as the core concepts don't change, you're gonna have a great way to build that audience. Like, I feel even if I walked away from YouTube right now, it would still generate money every month for the next two to 3 years. Like, there will be a point where it would taper off. But I know that I just like doing this, and I like sharing these kind of things. So I know when I do those kind of videos, but I also try to add my own spin to it. So to answer long answer shortly, it's about 5 hours. That's how long it takes me. But yeah, evergreen. That's what I'm trying to do.
It's time to stop.
And I don't know if you noticed that YouTube is now kind of leaning into the education space as well, even more. Where if you do educational content, you can actually put the level that it's at. You can put any other requirements, any kind of prerequisites, and it's the only category that allows you to put that extra info in. So I think they're going to be making a play because they do see how many people are creating courses outside of YouTube. So I think that YouTube will introduce a way for people to buy courses through playlists. I think that's going to be coming in the next year or two, where you're going to be able to create a course right into YouTube. Well, they're going to have like questionnaires or follow-up pages, and they're going to do something because Kajabi, Teachable, all these other platforms are making huge percentages off of these creators that are selling courses for a lot of money that YouTube is not getting access to. So you managed to get past 10,000 subs last night. Is that nice? Congratulations. That's awesome. Man, you know what? I never thought I would get past 10,000 subs, and it is a feat. It is not an easy task. You have to be committed to it. So well done. Wait, now I have to go check out your channel. Give me a second. Oh, so yeah, one of so which channel was it? Can you drop that link? Edition victories. Let's see. And how long has this channel been up? I'm not seeing that. Whole bunch of other stuff came up. A lot of Ariana Grande came up. Nice. 2020. Yeah, growing a YouTube channel is just being consistent and putting in that time and the effort.
It can be used by beginners and pros. It's time to stop fearing final. It's time to stop fearing final. I'm Rafael. Embrace it. I'm Rafael. There are plenty.
So yeah, Matthew, if you're still around, this is what I'm talking about, where it almost feels backwards doing the edit, because all these spaces have been removed. So now it's just...
There are plenty of editing apps out there for the Mac, and all of them have their strengths. But the one that I believe is by far the best for independent creators and editors is Final Cut Pro. It can be used by beginners and pros alike. And the fact that it's easy to learn and easy to use for basic editing is a pro, not a downside for the app. It's simple on the surface, but can complete complex tasks.
So yeah, this one of my favorite things about Timebolt is that now I'm just watching for the best takes, and I don't have to worry about getting rid of all the edits. So all that, the insert edit, or do a blade and then trim to start, and then just repeating that over and over again, where it's just literally
on the surface, but can complete complex tasks that many. It's simple on the surface, but can complete.
Yep.
It's simple on the surface, but
and just keep going. And then all of a sudden, like, this has sped up my whole workflow so much. because it's just me finding that. And if I know if it's something that I wish there was a way to give Time Bolt. Asking shall receive. I'll see what I can do.
It's simple on the surface, but can complete.
Maybe we'll do
complex
another
tasks
giveaway,
that
and
any
then
other editor can.
you will be the
You can set it
secret
up
winner.
with very specific. You can set.
So yeah, it one of the first times that I edited with Time Bolt, it felt so backwards because it felt like I was editing from the reverse. It like my brain took a moment. So Matthew, check out Time Bolt. They do have a workflow for multicam clips. It takes an extra few steps, but you can import all your multicam separate clips into Time Bolt, and it spits out the XML. But then if you know the difference between the starting points of all the clips, then you can actually input that in and it will spit that out, and then you just have to line it up. But all the edits line up. So they do have a workflow. It's not 100% perfect, but again, it could be the difference. Like, I would say that it takes about 10 minutes to get it done, but that's 10 minutes that you wouldn't have to then be editing all those pieces out. So they figured out a workflow that is incorporated into the app. Let's see if I can find it. So you just video training. Where is it? Jump cuts, automatic export, multi-track, XML, sync, multicam, video. So yeah, this is the sync multicam walkthrough for Final Cut Pro and DaVinci. Time Bolt is it's a one-time purchase or it's a subscription. I just did the one-time purchase, and I think I have a link in my description to get a I think 20% off. So that's worth looking into. Or if you join one of my bigger live streams, I do giveaways quite often. We just did a big live stream a couple of weeks ago. We gave away a whole bunch of stuff. So if you guys aren't subscribed for that kind of stuff, make sure you are, because we give away some pretty awesome stuff. Let's see, where is it? I need to change that thumbnail, don't I? But yeah, as I was saying earlier today, I actually was in the process of talking to some developers saying this is exactly what I wanted to do. And it wasn't exactly what Time Bolt does, but it was going to be able to... I actually wanted a version where it does multicam, where you can drop in 4 or 5 clips together. It would auto sync it in the app, do all the edits simultaneously from the master clip, and then it would spit out an XML of that. But then when I found Time Bolt, I was just like, I'm just gonna, instead of spending thousands of dollars to build this thing, and it was gonna take months, I decided to just use that because I got busy working, but I needed to be able to articulate, because I didn't know how to ask for what I was trying to achieve. I just want to cut out all the silences, and every time I searched that, nothing came up. So I made sure that when I put up my video, I cut out silence from videos, because it was, they used a different, I think they used a different term. What did they use? So Timebolt, timebolt.com. No. Anyways. You know what, guys? I'm actually gonna call it. It's getting late. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a little bit, even during the the technical meltdown that my computer had with Final Cut Pro and Ecamm. I just wanted to test it out. I just wanted to do some of this work. We ended up chatting a little bit more, so I appreciate it. I appreciate that you guys hung out with me. I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I'm going to drop off now and get ready for bed because the kids need to go to school tomorrow, so I got to get that kind of stuff done. Yeah, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next stream. All right, bye for now.